Hello everybody. Let's make some German red cabbage. All right, now look. Well, first I'm going to show you how to chop this up. It's easy. Just take the core out. If you cut it into small wedges and cut it like this, you'll be fine. If you have a slicer, put this stuff on the slicer, slice it thin, and then get it all together and just chop it up a little bit. A lot of this video is going to be in fast motion. I don't want to bore you and, keep it in regular time. You know what I mean? All right, there we go. It's all shredded. Now just going to chop it down a little bit more just to, get it a little bit smaller. Now, like I said, you don't have to be German to enjoy this. Believe me, this is really good food, I'm telling you. Okay, there's the cabbage. Now you're going to chop up two apples. And again, don't worry about the size. They're all going to cook down. This stuff, it simmers for an hour and a half to 2 hours. So you don't have to worry about getting them all the same size or anything. There's a half of a large onion. I'm going to throw that in there. You don't have to saute it or sweat it or anything. Just throw it in. Here comes 1 tablespoon of sugar, which in the end, I'll show you, it's not enough. Okay, there's 3/4 of a cup of cider vinegar and 2 cups of water. Now, I put that on the stove. I want to show you these pork chops. I bought a whole loin from a restaurant supply place. It was like $14. Man, I got a lot of pork chops out of it. It's very nice. Plus, I put them all in small packages, and I used the food saver, the shrink wrap thing. And they're really nice. Okay, now look. You have a choice here. You can pound it with a hammer, or you can get yourself one of these things. This is called a jacquard. If you go to, I think Target has them, I think. But if you buy one, make sure you buy one with the 48 needles in it. I think it's 48. I don't know. Don't get the small one with, there's only, like 12 needles or something. Don't get that one. That one's not good. You need the one with the 48 needles. Believe me, that thing works on everything. It works on chicken, beef. You can even use it on fish. If you have like grouper down here. Sometimes a grouper comes real thick and real tough. Okay, now look. I'm going to read the recipe off. This is 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 cup of apples, 1/3 cup of cider vinegar, 3 tablespoons of water, 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 1/4 teaspoons of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, ground cloves. All right, now listen. I had and 5 cups of cabbage, but I had more than 5 cups. I probably had about 8 or 9 cups of cabbage, so I made a little adjustment on it. I used 2 apples. I used a lot more water than 3 tablespoons. 3 tablespoons. Look. As it's cooking, don't forget, you're going to cook this an hour and a half to 2 hours. As it's cooking, you have to add water as you go along. For the most part, you don't do anything to this. Just put the lid on and let it simmer. Just let it go by itself. Here's what it looks like after an hour and a half. The thing you do have to check, every half hour is that there's enough water in it. Don't let the water evaporate out. All right, there. I'm going to adjust it now a little bit. It needs more salt, and it needs more sugar. But the sugar I'm putting in there is actually stevia. It's not sugar. It's that sugar substitute. And listen, as long as you don't tell anybody, they're never going to know it's in there. Trust me. Believe me. That stuff is good, man. All right, so anyway, look. You could see the apples and the onions are just gone. They just, they disintegrate. All right. Okay, let me do this one more time. 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 cup of apples, 5 cups of red cabbage, 1/3 cup of cider vinegar, 3 tablespoons of water, 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 1/4 teaspoons of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. The cloves are important. They really give it a distinctive flavor. They really are good. Okay, now here's the pork that we were doing earlier. I pounded it out, and then I just set it in the refrigerator. Now watch, I'm going to show you how easy this is. You don't need to You don't need to make an egg wash. Where you have the flour, the egg wash, and then the breadcrumbs. You don't need to do that. Watch, I'm going to show you here. All right, let me put some olive oil in there. Okay. Then I have some breadcrumbs on a plate coming up here. Let me show you. You know what? I'm going to show you how to do a 10-minute dinner as long as you have red cabbage cooked. But not this video, the next one. Okay, so I'm just heating up that oil. Hopefully it's going to heat up. All right, there we go. Now watch this, man. This is so simple. You have a plate of breadcrumbs. That's it. All you have to do is make sure the pork chops are wet. So if you have, if you want, just rinse them off and they'll be wet. And the breadcrumbs are going to stick to them. Just, pound them down pretty hard. I guarantee you, wait, you'll see how they come out at the end. Hold on. You don't need an egg wash. That's a big pain in the butt, man. This here is it's just as good, believe me. And it's a lot quicker and no mess. Okay, now if you want, you could use Italian breadcrumbs if you want. I don't. I always buy plain breadcrumbs, and then if I want Italian, I add stuff to them, All right, here we go now. We're going to put them in the oil. Going to let them saute. Blah, blah, blah. There you go. I mean, how long did this take? Like 5-6 minutes? Something like that for the pork chops? Doesn't take that long. There we go. Going to flip them over here in a minute. Okay. Man, I'll tell you what, this is really a good dinner. Pork chops with the red cabbage. Oh, and also I put in some apple jelly, apple jam. I made apple jam a couple months ago, and I canned it. So I have apple jam now. It's really good stuff. I'm telling you, man, it's really good stuff. All right, these are almost done. Like I said, it took like 5-6 minutes. Okay, they're done. Now, here comes the cabbage. Somewhere. Yo, cabbage. Yo, yo. What the hell? Oh, here it comes. All right. Cabbage. I'm going to add a little bit of butter to it. I only had 1 tablespoon of butter, and that was a lot of cabbage, so I'm just going to add a little bit. There we go. Okay. All right. Now the pork chops. If you make the cabbage up and freeze it in little, in family-sized portions, you can make this meal in like, 10 minutes. Although I don't have a starch. Next time I'll show you how to do rice in the microwave in 10 minutes. All right, here comes the apple jelly. Or, I'm sorry, the apple jam. This stuff is really good, man. It really is good. I love it. All right. Now we're going to add some, a little bit of cinnamon sugar on top. There you go. A little bit, not much. Just a little. Okay, that's enough. There you go. That's what I'm talking about right there. Oh, man. Whoo. It was very good. All right, listen. I got to tell you something. You might be able to find this somewhere else around town, but you're not going to find it any better than this. I got to go. I got to eat. See you. I don't know what happened. Somehow the audio got all screwed up. But anyway, here it is right here. You can't find it any better than this. I got to go. I got to eat. See ya.